Thanks for having us, Launchpad City. Appreciate it. 1 Million Cups. My name's Jonathan Huffnagel. I'm the founder of a business called Dash. We are the only digital auction platform built specifically for professional sports teams and their fans. But really what we are is the #1 fan experience platform for teams to engage their fans during games and in between games. 17 months ago, we brought a product to market which digitized the silent auctions that took place at professional sporting events. And over that 17 months, we've gone from 0 teams to 49 sports teams that work with us. Over the course of the 17 months and in dialogue with the teams that we're working with and engaging their fans, we realized that digitizing the auctions wasn't the big challenge that these teams had. It was actually the teams and the brands that they're associated with are having a really tough time engaging with the fans that may be in stadia or at home on a game day and days that aren't game days as well. So we're able to do that really, really well through Dash. So how do we do that? We actually leverage a mechanism that's been a part of the game day experience for well over 100 years. So traditionally, what sports teams will do is their charitable foundations will set up a pen and paper silent auction on their concourse during their games and raise money for their foundations. Now, traditionally, these items are sports memorabilia items from that particular team or like game day experiences that fans can participate in. But what we're doing is leveraging these auctions, which is a mechanism that's familiar to everyone. Everyone understands an auction. And what we've really done, and what's been kind of blown us away too, is as we've built this business, is there's plenty of digital auctions that are out there for teams, but none of them have ever leveraged the fun and the competitiveness and the emotion of being in an auction. Shoot, last time I was in an auction, it was damn near emotional for me. I was hoping to get that Mike Modano signed stick. But we're literally taking that emotion and competition that's happening on the field and drawing it out and putting it into the palm of fans' hands to engage them. And we're doing it really, really well. We have 49 teams on board. Like I said, here's just a few. So why are teams loving Dash? #1, we're increasing their auction and revenues. I'll reference the Houston Dynamo. Every single year, they host an auction with BBVA Compass, and it's their Dynamo Charities Cup match, where basically they bring in a European club or South American club to come play the Dynamo, and it's all this rah-rah charity event. Last season, our very first auction, and their first digital auction, we took their auction revenues up 200%, just from taking it from pen, paper, table chairs to digital form. Last week, they had their second BBVA Compass auction on Dash, and we doubled that number as well. So we're getting really good at what we're doing. I mean, we're doing this for all of our teams. Sponsorship activation revenues. Guys, when you go to a sporting event, you are getting hit left and right with marketing. It is a $7 billion industry just in the top 5 sports leagues alone. So what we're able to do with Dash is to create on-brand experiences through our auctions for our brands, for the teams that they're associated with, and through the fans to take them on a very unique auction journey that resonates with them in an emotional way. And then second, data-driven fan marketing. One of the things that we've learned through the dialogues that we've had with these teams as well is that not just engaging fans, not just driving further auction revenues, but a lot of these teams have no idea who's walking through their doors. Really, this is because of the prevalence of the secondary market for ticket sales, such as StubHub, Tickets.com, even Craigslist and eBay. People will be flipping tickets. So we are helping teams identify those individuals who are walking in their doors, finding out who these repeat customers are so that they can go sell them more things and have a fun time doing it as well. Key KPIs, excuse me. We've gotten really good at these auctions, but we really want to double down and triple down on what we're doing with these teams so far to get into the palm of even more fans' hands. What we're doing is targeting hundreds of thousands of users. The beautiful thing about our business is if we can deliver a great auction platform to these teams, it behooves them to promote our platform to their fan base. Now, what we do with those fans while they're there, we have to be very careful of, but we have to ensure we're making sure it's a great auction experience for those fans and delivering on X, Y, and Z to these teams so that they want to continue to put us in front of their fan base. Second, there's a lot of businesses out there that can be strategic partners of ours. There's businesses out there, I won't name them right now, who will build websites for professional sports teams and venues. And those sports teams and venues are asking for auction platforms. So we're having conversations with them to where we basically build a widget, package up our software, hand it over to them, and it scales our business very quickly. Same thing happens with mobile apps too. There's companies out there who will provide a turnkey templated app to sports teams all across North America, and they just skin it. Let's say Peoria Chiefs, for instance. Well, these teams are asking for auction software that can be embedded inside the app, and so we're having discussions with those people as well to scale our business that way also. Collaborate with national brands. Like I said, sports sponsorship is a $7 billion business in the top 5 sports leagues, and there's no reason that we can't create on-brand experiences for companies like Toyota or Advocare or BBVA Compass, directing fans in a particular direction that's on brand for that brand, team, and fan. Next 18 months, really it just comes down to very simple, what's good for us, what's good for the fans, and what's good for the team when it comes to our business decisions that we'll be making. Finally, that's a quick 6 minutes. It's a good stopping point.
Thank you. That was great. I'm sorry to cut you off, but this is your last slide, right?
That was.
See? Yeah. You did great. That was awesome. I did have a chance to meet with Jonathan before today, and I'm really excited about the direction of their company. Some of the things that he has planned for the company are so similar to what I worked on before I came here, so I'm really excited to see what your progress is going to be like, so keep me informed.
I will.
My voice is dying on me, but I'm not sick, so don't stay away from me during the networking piece. We have about 15 minutes for Q&A. I'll be out on the floor with the microphone. If you have a question, please raise your hand. And also, just hold on to the microphone until we've completed the answer to your question, because sometimes it sparks the second half. So I'm going to head out to the floor now. Who has the first question?
So one of the questions always asked is, what are you looking for from us today? What can we help you with?
Yeah, that's a great question. I knew that question was coming, and I don't really have a great answer for it. Just to meet new people, to be honest with you. I actually met my co-founder at his very first 1 Million Cups event on an elevator. We meshed really well, decided to start this business. Just come up to me, shake my hand, introduce yourself. If you have an idea in your head that we may be able to partner on, let's have a discussion around that. You have no idea who is in this room right now. You have no idea who's sitting next to you unless you talk to them and introduce yourself and start collaborating from there. Thank you.
Anybody else have a question?
Hey there, love the presentation. Tell me about how you all have gone about scaling. What have you done to make it happen, and what barriers have you hit and had to cut through? Always interested in that.
Yeah, for sure. So the very first thing we did is just have a discovery session of what this business could become and the pain points of what these teams are experiencing as it related to auctions. This happened, 18, 19, 20 months ago. And from there, we decided what our core features and our functionalities would be to build a minimally viable product that we could take out to market, be revenue generating, and learn from there. So that's really what we've done all this really on a minimally viable product. As it relates to scaling the business, it's come down to pure hustle. No, that's our goal for next year. That's our goal. That would be great. We'll take that. But yeah, so it just come down to hustle, making contacts within these professional sports teams and introducing them to our business, taking their mind shift of what auctions are, but what they could become as it relates to a fan engagement platform and what it could be for a fan experience during a game, as well as when games aren't taking place as well. Does that help?
Jonathan, on the auction platform, what's some of the merchandise that drives your highest conversions?
Game-worn jerseys. So typically, I would say like the bread and butter auction that will typically happen is teams will support like a local nonprofit. It may be a Jerseys Fight Cancer Night or a Military Appreciation Night. And so these teams will purchase, camo-style jerseys. Players will wear them for that game, and they would just auction them off. Well, now they're throwing them up on Dash and giving fans kind of an added bonus of A, being in the auction during a game, but B, we're able to message these fans like directly after the auction closes. Let's say we're directing them towards section 102 at the rallying point and walking them down to take the jersey literally off the player's back at the same time. So that would be like our bread and butter, the types of items that we're selling. A lot of teams are doing experiences, broken sticks, soccer balls. I mean, whatever a team can think of in their inventory, they're auctioning off for fans.
Awesome. I have a question. I know you talked about the traditional way that teams have been doing this, but do you have any other competitors currently in the market that are not that model, that are more tech-based like you?
Yeah, for sure. So there's one big player in the market. They're called Gesture. Gesture is a text-to-bid platform that is really meant for the nonprofit space. So charity gala, charity golf tournament is where they've made their bread and butter. They definitely beat us to the market, and they have a lot more teams than we do. But the reason they have more teams than we do is because they were first to market, and a lot of these foundation directors who are hosting these auctions needed a platform that was A, efficient for their time, easier to use, and could hit a larger audience. So they've kind of gravitated towards Gesture. Our biggest difference is, Gesture's transacting hundreds of millions of dollars worth of fundraising dollars, but only about 2% of it is through sports. If they were to change their business model to help identify who's walking through people's doors, or using auctions as a sales pipeline, or bringing another department within their business to help teams really leverage the power of what an auction can do as it relates to engaging a fan, would not be smart business for them. That's not their bread and butter. For us, it is. So yeah, Gesture is our number one competitor right now.
Are you looking to license your platform?
Yeah, for sure. So there's a lot of businesses out there who work with teams to provide digital products such as like mobile apps or web-based solutions that we can plug into what they're doing, and they're actually asking us to build that for them right now. We're right in the middle of that. We're pretty close to polishing off our very first web platform here in the next couple weeks to turn over.
What's the cost structure for the teams to use Dash?
Yeah, it's actually pretty simple. Just to get us in the market, there's no upfront cost to working with us. What we do is we'll charge a transaction fee to these teams. So whenever something sells, they make money, we make money. I love that model because it holds us accountable to delivering a great product to these teams and wanting them to continue to use us. If they want to walk away, they can. If they want to go to Gesture, well, they're going to have to fork over $3,500 to get things going. And a lot of these foundations at these teams, they don't have the budgets to do that. So that's been one reason we've been able to scale so quickly and get into the workflows of these teams. Now, eventually, we want to start selling SDK products to teams like Dallas Cowboys, for instance, who don't want to send their fans to Dash mobile app, right? They want to send people to the Dallas Cowboys app. Well, we should charge them for that. And there's teams all across the world that can do that and would want us to be in their software to drive an engaging fan experience through these auctions.
So then what's your cost basis to, like, or is there a minimum? So I'm thinking of different opportunities within your market, but is there a certain minimum they have to be auctioning that day, or?
No, not at all. As auctions are so new. I mean, you think they've been around in the game day environment for well over 100 years in a pen paper format. It's really only been until recently that we've actually been able to digitize that process. So we're almost like pioneering what auctions could become as it relates to the game day experience. So there are some teams that will auction quite often, right? But a lot of these teams are still using their bread and butter auction techniques of the camo night or pink in the rink breast cancer awareness, we're teaching them how to engage their fans on a more active basis on a weekly basis. It's getting there. It's getting there.
We're going to take one more question,
Cool.
and then we'll be done for this section, okay?
Fire away.
Are you doing anything outside of the professional level? Are you doing high school or anything like that?
Not yet. So we have colleges and pro teams that work with us right now. There's certainly an opportunity to scale out the business and work with high schools. Like, shoot, Texas high school football is just ridiculous, right? I'm sure there's plenty of parents who would love to steal or score their child's jersey that just scored that touchdown, right? There's also opportunities out there in like the traditional auction space for nonprofits, like the charity golf tournament, like the charity fundraisers that go on. But right now it's not our focus because we're finding so much traction in sports right now that we really want to double down on what we're doing there. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan.